560. The Answer.
I didn't inundate you with this Mindomni. And maybe I should have. Maybe I should have played it. But this is the destination you're destined to get to if you're a Democrat. And the face of this child is actually perfect. This is the beauty of this philosophy. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to have had to achieve anything. All you have to do is be a liar, be a fraud. Here's the clip that is fascinating to me. Here's a kid never worked. He's a trust fund baby. Never fracking did a day's work in his pansy life. Never. In fact, you really want to ask somebody what dirty hands look like. Do you ever see his wife, Squirrel? She looks like Ratso Rizzo from that Midnight Cowboy movie.
For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands.
I want you to think about what New York really is. What New York really is. It is the example of what could be from European countries people fled. The poorest. The poorest. And what they became. And those families, although it looks like they're old money, they're American money. They didn't have money before they came here. We did that. New York did that because of property rights. And what this child is going to do is two things. He's going to pretend to have been a worker ever in his life. And he's going to guarantee feudalism in working. And that's why the Soviet Union just was drunk for the last 30 years.
Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor.
Well, how would you know?
Palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars.
By the way, all these warehouses are automated. Nobody's lifting anymore. It's not 1943, you fracking imbecile.
Knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power.
Like your mommy and daddy's servant?
And yet over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater.
Greater? I can't wait for the ghettos that this philosophy builds to sweep Manhattan. You don't deserve a decent area any more than any other communist area ever did. Ask the communists in Havana if it's lovely, but don't ask them when the government's there, because they'll kill you.
Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it.
Sure you did.
The future is in our hands.
I want you to. He's gonna talk about Cuomo, and I want you to see the difference in character. I think Andrew Cuomo's a piece of dung, absolutely a piece of dung. And the idea good people were gonna vote for him, that's even more sickening. He should have been charged with mass murder for what he did with COVID. Nipple rings, Cuomo. But the other thing is, he's an old mafia guy. Old, wise guy. His father was all cozied up with this. They just wanted to be nice so no one would understand they're stealing. He's got a little bit too much of that niceness. Here's Andrew Cuomo.
Feel proud because we fought our hearts out and we left it all on the field. Congratulations to Zoran Mandami.
Now watch.
That is not right. That is not right, and that is not us. That is not us. Tonight was their night, and as they start to transition to government, we will all help any way we can because...
Now, in the audience, they're saying he cheated. They're saying they want an audit. These are the people that supported this scumbag. And all he's telling them to do, grab your ankles. It's time for the Buddha gig.
We need our New York City government to work. We want it to work for all New Yorkers because our city is the greatest city in the world.
Yeah, right here. The greatest city in the world. Just like Chirac, right? The greatest freaking city. Moron and scumbags and liars. But here's where I kind of almost smirk at this kid. At least he is what he is, and he ain't taking a back seat to nobody.
Friends, we have toppled a political dynasty. Andrew Cuomo only the best in private life. But let tonight be the final time I utter his name.
Right here, Andrew.
As we turn the page on a politics that abandons the many and answers only to the few.
That's great. I absolutely loved it. And I don't know if this kid's his cousin, but he could be. He's another scumbag. What's his name? Piker? Perfect.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Kill Rick Scott.
That's how they really think. At least these young scum, these young communist scum, these ideological cultists, at least they tell you what they think. Yeah, that's almost refreshing. George, Naperville.
Yeah, Sean, I'm worried about you. What do you do when you're driving the car and the Beatles come on the radio singing Michelle, my belle?
I'd say get off the radio, communists. I don't like the Beatles. Although I do like that one with the guy dragging his knuckles and Paul McCartney. I like Paul McCartney and Wings. You know, when he was with the wife. She needed a sandwich, though, for like 30 years.